Every schoolboy has been the proud owner of that little horseshoe-shaped toy which picks up bits of iron for his amusement. This remarkable phenomenon quite naturally built up the concept of magnetism as an attractive force. Magnetism supposedly performs these miracles, so it seems. The evidence of one's senses are again deceived by the illusion. The exact opposite is the fact. The electropositive charge is merely increased, and the attraction of positive electricity to positive electricity of a similar dimension is demonstrated. This phenomena of the power of the electropositive charge of the magnet to attract will be exactly described later, where the laws of unit or opposing pressures are written down. Suffice it here to say that a magnet is a piece of iron around which so strong a generative current has been caused to circulate that the billions of little bumps which make up its atoms have been vastly stimulated to excessive zeal in performing their work. The pulsations are so greatly energized that the magnetic outflow is like a swift running stream in comparison with a normal flow. Thus has the positive charge been greatly increased. The axial poles of rotation and the magnetic poles have become almost superimposed. The potential and unit pressures have been raised to such an extent that another piece of iron of normal potential and pressure will be drawn into the higher pressure of the magnetic iron, and its potential also raised. This will also be very simple to comprehend when the simple principles of gravitation and an exact understanding of the forces of attraction and repulsion are known. The misconceptions of modern science concerning the fundamental principle of attraction and repulsion are many, and all are based upon the wrong belief that electricity is the repellent and magnetism the attractive force. Man speaks of light repulsion and cites the trail of the comet, which forever points away from the sun, as conclusive proof. This phenomena is due to the fact that all mass rotates and revolves toward its proper pressure zone. All mass is potential out of place, and all mass constantly seeks the proper pressure zone for its constantly changing potential. All states of motion, including the tail of the comet, conform to this law. The age-old misconception regarding the supposed attractive power of magnetism must be reversed, and its exact opposite substituted in its place. Much practical demonstration has contributed to the building up of the strongest foundations for the present theories. Scientists have built up wrong theories based upon appearances which deceive because they are misunderstood. Man seems to forget that this is a universe of appearances, a universe of illusions, and appearances easily deceive unless one makes allowances for them in every effect of motion. Man is not easily deceived regarding those illusions which he thoroughly understands, such as relative dimensions in perspective, or the illusion of the moon racing behind the trees keeping pace with speeding man. But he is easily deceived regarding those illusions which he does not suspect to be illusions. In order that one may know truth from the illusionary appearance of truth, the reader must remember that all objective effects of motion in form are illusions, and also that the relation between those apparent objective forms and their motion as well are illusions. All illusions will deceive if judged only by the evidence of one's senses. Not for 1 second does any effect of motion remain unchanged. Therefore, it is not logical that changing things can be dependable realities. There can be no unconditional facts in a universe of motion. There can only be ever-changing appearance of facts. All states of motion are relative and deceiving. Comprehension of this universe of mind is not possible as long as it is considered as a universe of dimension. Nor is it possible if its illusions are considered as realities. Complexity is a drag anchor to comprehension. Comprehension of the universe is very simple when it is considered as a dimensionless universe, abounding in appearances which do not deceive because one knows them to be but illusions. All matter is an effect of a basically simple and easily comprehensible cause, the thinking of mind. Man's reliance upon the reality of the illusions of electrical effect have deceived him into a misinterpretation of his observations. Just as man used to believe firmly the evidences which his senses seem to prove that the sun and stars revolve daily, so does he at present firmly believe the evidences which his senses seem to prove that positive corpuscles repel positive and negative corpuscles repel negative, while each opposite attracts the other. The term negative charge is not in accord with the laws of motion. The positive electric force charges and the negative magnetic force discharges. Modern science firmly believes that there are two kinds of corpuscles, negative corpuscles, which are called electrons, and positive corpuscles, which are called protons. This is a wrong concept. All corpuscles are doubly charged, and so are all systems, and so is all mass doubly charged. All familiar effects of motion substantiate this statement. It would be absurd to say that this solar system is a positive proton surrounded by negative electrons, which are the planets. All phenomena of motion are repetitive. Mass is purely relative. An atom of manganese or iron is exactly like this solar system, in which the positive nucleus is concentrated, and an atom of sodium is exactly like the nebula forming in the constellation of Orion, in which the positive charge is extended and has not formed a distinct nucleus. A biologist would not think of the male as wholly male, for he knows that the male, though preponderantly male, is also female. Each sex is both electric and magnetic. They are therefore electromagnetic in periodicity, or in other words, male-female in periodicity. Here is the law in accord with truth. Positive charge attracts positive charge and expels negative discharge. Negative discharge repels both negative discharge and positive charge. The fact that electricity expels magnetism does not mean that it repels it. Expulsion is not repulsion. Expulsion is the result of electric attraction, which causes electrically charged particles to draw closer together. This effect of closer assemblage is a centrifugal effect of contraction, which squeezes magnetism away from the spaces between the integrating particles of electric preponderance. The magnetic flow resulting from this squeezing process is merely the reaction of the action of squeezing. The action of electricity might be likened unto the compression of a spring from within. The reaction of magnetism might be likened unto the elastic resistance to that compression by an exactly opposite pressure of expansion from within. Opposite charges do not attract each other. They are opposites, and as opposites, their very natures are characteristic of all apparent opposites in the assertion of their opposition. A positive light unit or system does indeed attract a negative one, not because of its negative, but because of its positive attribute. One single light unit is no different than a mass such as this planet in respect to its double charge. It would be absurd to say that this planet, which is but one light unit of this solar system and corresponds exactly to one light unit of an atomic system, is either a negative or a positive unit. It is both negative and positive, and its positive charge is always preponderant in that part which is nearest to its positive nucleus, which is the sun. Also, it is negative in its negative discharge, always dominant in the portion furthest removed